Hello everyone, welcome back to Mad About Cards and Crafts, and I am super excited. 7 Kids Craft has released 3 more stamp sets, beach themed. My favorite, this is Making Waves. We have Hawaiian Holidays, and last we have Mahalo, which is the stamp set that I'm going to be working with. I did not share the Copic coloring. This right here is Geode Layers die from Paper Tray Ink. These are accessory products. Gina Marie Designs Inside Out Stitched Rectangle, Sentiment Suite Basics, which is what I'll use to cut the sentiment out with. And lastly, I'm going to share Art Glitter Crystal, which is a ultra fine transparent glitter, as well as some Distress Oxides. I started by showing you Mowed Lawn, Twisted Citron, Seedless Preserves. I did do my no-line Copic coloring on Copic Express It paper and stamped these images with the Barely There from Gina K Designs. One of the sentiments will be stamped with that Gina K Designs slate. I will add a little bit of Tumbled Glass, Mermaid Lagoon, and Salty Ocean, and lastly some Wild Honey and Vintage Photo for the sand. I am going to build 2 cards for you, 2 card backgrounds. That is Arteza White Gouache. So we will start getting into the process. Again, I didn't share the Copic coloring. I will put the Copic marker colors in the description box below and how I use them, but my focus wanted to be on building backgrounds because these stamp sets by Kelly and 7 Kids Craft are packed full of fun accessories. There is so much scene building and background building. The images from the Hawaiian Holidays and also from the Mahalo sets both can be used interchangeably in my opinion, and so I really wanted to highlight all of those little bits and pieces, those extra pieces that Kelly was so thoughtful in adding to these stamp sets. So I started by laying down a little bit of Wild Honey. That is just a piece of copy paper, and now I'm coming in and putting a little bit of ocean together so that I'm creating some waves using that same exact stencil. I will fill in the sand because I didn't want quite as much white at the top of that. And the colors that I used for that ocean were Salty Ocean, and Mermaid Lagoon will be the one that comes in after this. This is where I add a little bit of Vintage Photo. I'm not trying to do anything but vary the color on that sand because I don't want it to just be the Wild Honey, and I'm going to be adding some of that Art Glitter to this project so that the sand literally has that little bit of shine, and I will take some of the Prima Worn Leather spray, the Color Bloom spray, to color that, and that will add a little bit of texture to that sand. So we do have a giveaway. It is the Making Waves set. Again, that's a set that both my friend Renee and Kathy are using in this hop, so make sure that you stop and take a look at the cards that they created. This giveaway is open to those that live in the United States only. Please make sure when you leave a comment in the boxes that you note that you are from the United States. So we will, for every hop stop that you make, if you leave a comment in the box, in their box, then you will be entered. So I believe that there's 5 of us that are hopping, so you have 5 chances to enter. I will close this. This will be closed on June 13th at 11:59, and I will announce the winner over here on my channel on June 17th. So you saw that I laid down that gouache. The last time that I created a scene like this, here we go, I used a gel pen, but I really like the softness that you get from the gouache. So I just lay it out on a Tim Holtz stamp tool that I have, and I spritz some water on it, and then I have a flat brush, and I added that to the sections where the copy paper left their little marks, and then I added some additional little texture to the waves. Now I'm mixing together that sand, and I start putting it on and realize that I don't like the way that that's going. So instead of putting the art glitter glue directly to the sand, I decide to put it on the side. I thought I would just do it with my fingers. It would look much nicer. It's easy to wash off. So I water down some of that, and then I just dip my finger into the glitter and add it to my project, and it just adds a little bit more texture and interest to this particular card panel. I will take the paper tray ink geode die and I will cut that out to create a little placement for my scene, and then we're going to start building the background. I do pop that outer ring up using the Amazon foam tape that I have, and I will show that shortly. So here I'm coming in with the Mahalo stamp from the Mahalo stamp set, and I'm starting by stamping it with Twisted Citron, and I am just eyeballing this. If you follow me, you know that I'm not a precision crafter, so I eyeball everything. I come in with the Mermaid Lagoon, then I do the mowed lawn, and I'm not going to show the stamping of the whole panel here, but I do want to show you how I fix a mistake that I made. That right there is tumbled glass, and then I am going to repeat the colors, and then I'll lay down I'll lay down the mowed lawn in the next line, and then I'll lay it down again. And in order to fix that, all I did was re-stamp it on top in the same position with the Mermaid Lagoon. I got a little bit of a darker tealish green, deep green color, and that is what I did to fix that. So I will just double stamp that. When you saw me put the sky together, I did use tumbled glass and an MFT cloud die. All of the products that I'm using will be listed in the description box below. I will have affiliate links there. If you click on those, it will take you to a site. I do receive a small commission at no cost to you, so I would love for you to use those links when possible. This actually came from the Hawaiian Holidays set. As I said, there's lots of really cute accessories, and the Hawaiian Holidays has a fabulous little couple that is on vacation having themselves a little mojito and relaxing in the sun, and so I wanted to add those sunglasses. You'll see that I will come back in and add a few more sunglasses. I did stamp them in Salty Ocean. I am just tapping on some mowed lawn and also again the tumbled glass. I decide that I want a little bit more color on this, so I will go around the edges with the tumbled glass using my Amazon brushes, and then we'll start building our card. And as I said, I will pop up the outer ring with my I think it's called X-Fasten tape. It's very inexpensive. It's a huge roll over at Amazon, and I'm going to use that to pop up both that outer ring, and I'll use my art glitter glue to put down my panel. That is a trick that somebody from my Handmade Happiness, I think there's 2 people that actually use that technique, and so I have adopted that into my crafting. Now I'm just showing you that I am removing the backing from that double-sided tape. This gets a little bit wonky. It shouldn't have been stretched out. I don't know what actually happened, but I have to work at it a little bit to get that onto my panel. and eventually I do, but I absolutely love these colors. I love the way that this worked out. I think the no-line coloring couple, my little ukulele boy and my hula girl, came out beautifully, and I just think that those fun, building your own backgrounds really does change a stamp set. A lot of people will build the same scenes over and over, and adding small accessories and building your own backgrounds, I think, is a fantastic way to get a unique look from a stamp set. And again, these stamps are just packed full of accessories. Now, I think Kelly is going to be selling these in a bundle. I'm not sure how long she'll be selling these. As you could see, I was lucky enough to get all 3 stamp sets. I will be coming back on my channel and sharing a couple more videos. Here I took a piece of acetate and I wanted to add that sentiment, but I wanted to make sure it was going to fit properly, and it did, and it just turned out really nice. I did stamp it in the mowed lawn. Here's where I add a little bit more of those glasses because I thought that we were just missing some, and that's going to pretty much be this card. Now, the sentiment does say rise with the tide and go with the flow, which I think is a super cute sentiment. And now we're going to go on to card 2. This again is using the same exact Mahalo stamp set. I took the Twisted Citron, and do you know what happened to my Twisted Citron? This is why you did not see the cap. When I took it out of my cabinet, the cap flew off, and I cannot find it anywhere in my craft room. I have looked high and low, and I have had to put it into a Ziploc baggie because I do not know where this went to. I am going to start by using that Seedless Preserves. The Hawaiian girl has, the little hula girl has kind of that Seedless Preserves look to her lei, and then she has that green in her grass skirt, so I thought those were the perfect colors to use as my background stamp. I wasn't quite sure whether I was going to use the full panel or what I was going to do. If I knew, because I've said before, I fly by the seat of my pants when I craft sometimes. This was one of those. If I knew that I was going to cut out the center, I probably would have balanced out the tikis by putting one on the right side as well. I still think it turned out nice, but I just personally, I would have put one more tiki on the right side. I do have to come back in and do a little fill-in that I'll do off camera, and I'll talk about this when I get to that part, but I end up making some changes to this card, and I thought my camera was rolling and it wasn't, so my apologies for that. So here I'm going to do a little bit of splattering with that mowed lawn. I'm going to come in with the Seedless Preserves, do the same thing. I will try to add the white gouache, but it really doesn't show up on that Twisted Citron. If it were a darker color, it would have showed up much better. I took a Dove blender pen and I used that to color in the florals. I used Seedless Preserves, and then I used a little bit of picked raspberry, and then I took the mowed lawn and I colored in the other leaves. I cut them out with my Brother Scan and Cut, which is the same cutting tool that I used to cut out all of my images, the hula girls and the little ukulele boy. So I decided to come in with that Gina Marie design double stitched rectangle die and cut the center out. I wanted to mute that Twisted Citron a little. I did have a purple background or a card base. That is Nina Desert Storm 80-pound card base. I did have that initially, and I thought that it was just a little too in your face, so I wanted to mute that down. Here's where I'm going to start gluing my pieces together, or pieces down. I have to use a little bit of foam tape because that frame is popped up, and on the other panel it was the same way. I had to use a little bit of that tape, that foam tape on one side of the girl so that I had a nice balance. Those are the images that I colored with my Dove blender pen. I'll put everything together and then I will go and look at it and decide that I don't like how plain that craft is in the background, so I will lift up the girl. I actually move her a little bit higher along with the mahalo, and you will see that in the final pictures. I did give it a little bit of extra time so you could see that. I want to thank you so much for hopping. Please remember to click hashtag 7kidscraft Summer Lovin' Hop. It is in the description box below and in my title. All you have to do is click that or use that hashtag in your search engine on YouTube, and you will find the other creators on the hop. I would encourage you to go to the 7 Kids Craft Facebook page. There's some fun things going on there, as well as a 7 Kids Craft Instagram hop. So go to Kelly's Instagram at 7 Kids, and you will also find some fabulous creators there. I want to thank you so much for hopping with us today. Head over to Kelly's store, grab your stamps today. Thank you so much for watching. Until next time, have a great day.